Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Janis, the Boundaries and Business Coach, and today I'm talking to Joy Harris, who's a personal and development coach, who changed her niche from general life coaching to a focus and emphasis on the beauty care industry. Why? Because she was a hairstylist for over 33 years. So I sat down and talked to her about why she chose to change her niche and how she's giving hairstylists and people in the beauty care industry space that not necessarily is there all the time. I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I enjoyed talking to her, and I'll be back at the end.
Hello, everybody. I am Coach Joy Harris. I'm a personal development coach for beauty professionals. After spending 33 years in the industry myself and had to retire almost 5 years ago, had to do a pivot due to health reasons and just the wear and tear of the career. But I still wanted to be affiliated with the industry. So before I got back with the beauty career, I was trying to avoid it and go some other directions. So I went with families. Then I was coaching career women, and then I just kind of narrowed the gap and narrowed it down to beauty professionals, since that's my language. And what I do is help beauty professionals and barbers through feelings of burnout. I help them build effective communication skills so that way they can be more effective with their clients. I help them with how the importance of self-care, everything that I sometimes avoided in my career, that I want them to avoid those pitfalls of the career that comes with it. And I want to have to help them be prepared.
Love that too. I know we met originally. We met as like both like life coaches. So let's before we unpack your niche, let's talk about you just wanting to be a coach. What made you want to be a coach?
You know, I kind of was a natural one already because being a hairstylist, you hear so many stories and so many problems you solve already just doing that. But also, it was more than me just giving them great hairstyles and hair color. It was also them having a safe place and being a trusted confidant for them to have somewhere to speak and talk. And I've went through many griefs with them, marriage losses, divorces. Some of them were suicidal because they didn't like their image of who they were. So I had to kind of work them through those things. And they trusted me with their hair. And they also trusted me with their heart to tell me some of the things that was going on. So I was always naturally a person that was good at listening, even as a younger child. I was always good at listening and problem solving for other people.
But was the listening and having people being seen, is that what attracted you to like really pursue coaching?
Yes, because there's many times that I felt unseen, and it was just I know that how important it is for someone to just simply listen to you without always giving an opinion, but just someone to be an active listener and who listens in a non-judgmental way, in a not a critical way. I'm one of those people. You could tell me you got three eyes. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to act like clutch my pearls because I've heard some of everything. So I just listen and just try to help them process, and they feel comfortable after I don't react and oh my gosh, because see I'm not one to sit high and look low because I got my own stories. So I love to just let people feel a safe place where they can just talk and be themselves. They can take their Superman or Superwoman cape off and just let it out. And I think that's where you get the most best transformation, when you can be somewhere you don't have to feel like you have to reserve any parts of you. And so with me, people just they let it all out, even strangers. So it's just something that naturally was born with.
So what do you think? I mean, because this channel is all about boundaries, as you know, but also before that, what do you think beauty professionals, what do they need? Why should they come to you?
They should come to me because I understand the need for being heard and someone just listening to them, where they can just sit and just be and unload their things. Also, I help them build the courage to say no and to know when to say no. So they have to set boundaries in that way because a lot of times they just a lot of people still have that scarcity mindset. So they just take on people, take on people, take on people, but they don't know they're burning themselves out and depleting their own spirit. And then that's when, over time, if you continue that behavior, if that's how you run your chair, you're going to be burned out and you will crash and burn and you will end up hating your career. So before they get to that, or while they're in the midst of it, I like to try to help them out of that as fast as possible. and help them to know that, it's not a bad thing to say no, because a lot of people still have guilt about saying no, and they feel bad about it. And also the time management, like a lot of moms and even people who, men or women that do hair and stuff, they miss we miss a lot. We miss a lot of holidays, we miss a lot of our kids' events. We will get home late, sometimes the children are in bed. So I help them deal with that guilt of that, because it's really not really a such thing as time management, because either you got to be at the salon because the people there need you, or either your children are sick or something's going on and you got to be there. It's kind of like you kind of either can be there or not. So I help them deal with the times that they can't, and the guilt that comes with that, and letting them know, like, you're building a legacy. Your children are going to miss out. You're doing what you have to do so you can do what you want to do later. So I try to help them come to terms with being okay with those, in those times that they can't necessarily be there, and how to deal with the guilt of that. And also to let them know that, yeah, let them know you're still a nice person. You're still a kind person when you have to tell a client no, or let the client know you can't pay me next week. I need to be paid this week, and just speaking up for themselves, using their voice, because that's really a big one. And a lot of times you hold in stress because they feel like, man, I shouldn't have let her do that or let her talk me into this discount or whatever. So you got to set boundaries. This is what it is. It's going to be cut and dry, and this is the boundaries, and they got to adhere. I teach them to adhere to their own boundaries, so that way their clients do.
So, how do you talk to other professionals as far as setting those boundaries with them? Do you take it as like one thing at a time, top three, or how do you break that down to them?
Well, usually they come to me with what they want to work on, the areas of their life that they need to work on, or whether it's their career and everything. So they usually, I let them lead, what they want, but they know what I offer. So, like, some of them may be lacking confidence and not feeling like, like living in self sabotage, and not feeling like they can be really good with what they do, but they still don't believe that they're good enough or they're cut out for it. Because I teach them about, like, not comparing yourself to other stylists. Everyone has their strengths. So I teach them how to get in their own lane and create their own lane and stay in that lane and expand that lane. Just being yourself and being authentic and showing up as you. You don't have to be like the next stylist. You just need to be the best version of you to accomplish what you're trying to do. So I teach them, like, just stay in your lane, and the things they want to work on, like strengthen, like communication, because sometimes the communication is really major, because if you don't communicate well and you have good comprehension, you're going to miss what you and the client won't be on the same page, and then you'll give her a result that she didn't want. Then there's your name gets spread around, like, she messed my hair up or whatever. So communication is very important. So it just depends on which coachable topic they want to work on and what they bring.
How do you deal with people who are clients that you're like, in your head, you're like, have to work on their hair. They're too much. That I can't take that anymore. How have you ever had to let a client go?
Oh man, you asking the wrong person, because I'm very strict. I have no problem with it, because I'm very vocal. And this is me. This is me. I don't have to take you as a client. I accepted you as a client. I don't have to take you. And I'm a firm believer of all money is not good money. So that's never going to draw me. That's never going to make me tolerate things or cross my own boundaries. So when I have someone who's not in alignment with what I'm doing, or if they want to, come in and just disrespect my business and how I conduct myself behind a chair, I have unsnapped many capes, just unsnapped them and just told them during their appointment, well, my other stylist does this way and does that. I said, well, would you like to go to her?
But why do you think hairstylists have a hard time talking to their clients or even potential clients about money? I see that as a pattern sometimes with hairstylists. Why do you think that is?
A lot of times, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times they haven't fully embraced their worth. They don't feel they don't recognize their own value. And they can go through all the training and everything, but if they don't have a deep value for themselves or a worth, and be like, hey, you know what? I'm giving them a top-notch service. I went and got extra education. When they go outside, they're gonna be stopping traffic, and everybody's gonna be stopping them. They get to have that feeling. They get to get my artistry and my signature on their hair, and that costs. Just like they go buy a purse that has done nothing for them, but hung on the rack, they go and spend $1,000 for a purse. So If you're gonna come and your hair is $200, I'm not gonna haggle back and forth. This is my price. It's not a bartering thing, and it's not an auction like where people give to the highest bidder. This is my price. And if if it's too much for a certain client, then I'm not the stylist for you. You got to go to a stylist because then you got to be a lot of people aren't okay with that client saying, no, I ain't gonna, because they rather, well, I'll take something from, at least I'm getting something. No, you got to go all the way out on the limb and really stand up for what your worth is.
Was like having boundaries for your in your chosen profession, like right now, like being a coach, is that important to have that?
Oh, it is, because if you don't have that, especially as being a coach, it's going to be time. Because when I first started coaching, I would coach someone and they would just, Coach, do I need to talk to you? Then here I am on the phone with them again and stuff, and it's just all my free time. I'm like, no. And then at nighttime, like I'm in the bed, like when I go to bed, I clear my plate of my brain with of any heaviness. I want to go to bed with great thoughts, peaceful thoughts, thinking, listening to some great music that I like. And I like to, that's how I like to fall asleep. I don't want to hear the last thing at 12 o'clock. You want to call me and here we go. Unless it's a real emergency, but just the people would just call me and text me whenever. And I'm like, no, we're not like friends. This is a coaching client situation. And they were getting a lot of extra free coaching out of me just because I would just answer. And I was like, nope, I got to stop this. So how I stopped it is I added some chats to my website, and it's called Chats with Coach Joy, and that's for people who don't want a who don't need a coaching experience. So I have a 15-minute call, and those are $15, and I have a 30-minute call. I call them mood boosting chats, and so that has made my phone ring less because people don't want to. They know they can't just call me. Like this is even family too. They can't just call whenever they feel like calling because after you coach, you're heavy. You can, I mean, their stories are heavy. I'm not heavy, but their stories can be heavy, and you just want to put it in that other compartment and then get back to what you're doing. I don't want, on my free time, I don't want to have to talk if I don't want to. Not taking anybody after like 8 o'clock or stuff like that. Like, taking people, I was taking people sometime late or whatever. So setting that boundary, like the last appointment time I'll take is 7 o'clock so I can be done by 8. And after that, I don't even really take any more phone calls unless it's one of my brothers or someone. And then sometimes I don't even answer their call. My son always answer his calls because he could be at the firehouse. But after that, it's like I'm shutting myself down. I got to recalibrate, recollect myself. And then I've already given all this time out to the people I have. Now I want to kind of do the things I want to do. And I'm very, like, when I set out in my time for, like, this is my planning time or this is going to be my content making time. And when that phone rings, I used to still answer the phone and be totally, didn't even get the content done so now I'm just like, nope, I'll have to call them later. I carved this time out to myself to do what I need to do. So I've been just kind of really prioritizing myself and the goals that I write for myself or have for myself for the day. And I just been sticking to that, like, and they're like, I called at you earlier. I said, yeah, I was on my planning time. I was making some content or searching out content that I want to make. And they're like, oh, like I could have answered. And I could have answered, but I didn't want to answer because I'm working on myself too as I'm working with clients to help make myself continue to keep myself as a priority and to constantly show myself that I'm as important as the clients that I'm wanting to help. So I had to
Yeah.
become more important to myself, and that comes with setting boundaries. That helps a lot.
So how does having that boundary change your life?
It's giving me more time. It's giving me even more peace of mind. I feel more vibrant. I don't feel worn out emotionally or stressed out. I just feel more fulfilled, and it feels like my day goes longer because it's more. I've created more time in my own day for myself too.
Mhm.
And it has amped up my self-care, like, to prioritize that, and just make little dates with myself. Like, okay, and polish, I'm gonna put some polish on at 3 o'clock today because my nails look, and now there's more ways that I'm finding to spend time with myself to keep me on that. And it's kind of just helping it grow. So it's giving me more peace and more relaxed and more just, I don't feel bogged down with on like a heavy, hectic schedule
I think I saw one of your content posts where you were like painting your nails, and I was
all
like,
the
"That's
time.
so good."
I do it because I know that Instagram has changed so much over there, and people are in a hurry and they just scroll past your thing. So I do, when you see me doing my hair, it's not me just crimping. When I'm doing nails and hair, I just do it because it goes with my coaching niche. And I want stylists to see, it's a many different reasons. I want stylists to see, you know what, this is you, we do this to other clients, like maybe a nail tech could do this, or when they see me blow drying my hair and stuff like that, then I show them the finished product. Basically, I'm giving them a subliminal message, like take time to do your hair too. You know, we always, the hairstylists are the last to do the hair. So I just show them, like, you know, carve out some time to spend with yourself that's just quiet downtime when you, and I'll find a little music that sounds peaceful, and I'll just be doing, I just want to show them what relaxation, and that was helps with burnout. So I just want to show them what that looks like, you know, as a retired stylist, that y'all can carve out time like this at home too.
Do you think burnout is kind of like the top a feeling that people have like when they're in the industry? Because I always see like like hairstylist stuff from carpal tunnel and back problems and all those things, and they eventually they've been doing it like you for like 30 years or whatever, and they burn out. So do you think that's one of the top feelings that hairstylists have?
Yes, I feel like it's burnout, and I also feel like it's burnout and also self-care. Those kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like they don't take time, they don't even have time. They get by the time they get home, they're so worn out. All they want to do is just get a shower, take that bra and throw it somewhere like we do when we get home, ladies. And they just want to, then they got to book things when you go home. Now you got a whole nother life. The kids need homework checked, or the husband need this, or what we're going to eat, and got to go to the grocery store. So that's where that burnout comes. So I feel like self-care and that runs together. I think if they do more self-care, which I try to show them, I feel that that would negate some of the burnout, you know, make them, know that, hey, I need to slow down and pause a little bit. So that's why I'm really trying to hone in that message. Like, we're stylists, but you got to take care of yourself too.
Right.
I will tell them when it comes to setting boundaries for their business, I will first of all just sit and just sit and envision how you want your business to run, and how you what will be the ideal situation and environment that you want to create. And also having, digging deep and finding the courage to this business is your baby that you're building. So you have, just like you protect your baby, you have to protect your business that you're building also. And just to have that takes courage. So really tap into that courage, set the boundaries, not worry about whose feet you're going to step on, because those are people that's not going to be in alignment with your business. And make sure you set those boundaries, write it down, make it plain, write your vision out for your salon business that you want, or your hair, whatever you're doing, sweets or whatever, and just sit down and prioritize it and let that be a thing that you lead with. Like, this is the kind of salon I want to have, an orderly business. I want a business that people come in and they respect the rules that I've set for my business, and that they don't mind spending time here, and that they like to come in a place where if they have to adhere to rules, that means all the other clients that come through, and that way that makes it a peaceful environment, not just things are out of order and disarray. So I would want them to know that, it takes courage to do that, and you protect your business and your chair like you would do your children or your dog or whatever it is that you love. And that's how you should equate it, like that. This is my baby. This is my name is on this. My reputation is on this, and that should help you adhere to those boundaries and set them and adhere to them. Just that alone.
Whew. Isn't she great? I mean, I always love talking to Joy anyway, outside of an interview, but I really got a lot of information just talking to her about this, about changing her niche, about doing something that's comfortable that she knows, because she knows the beauty industry, she knows the hair care industry, and really giving space to those who may not necessarily always are talked to. Making a space that's just for them. And not because they're on the outside looking in, but they've been on the inside. They know what it's like. And I think that's what Joy, not I think, I know, because she said it, but she's been on the inside. She knows what it feels like to work 6-7 days a week. She knows what it's like to work nights, and how she misses, like she said, how she's missed her kids' games or whatever it is. She knows what that is like. And I think that's really important. When somebody truly has been there, which I believe if a coach is coaching, they should be there. They should have been there. We are our own first clients, and Joy is the epitome of that. But I digress. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any other interviews that are coming up in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.